Hey there, Reviver Nation. Coach Hudson here, bringing you Mobility Program Day B, which is going to be focused on the glutes and external hip rotator muscles. So today I'm going to start with my release, which is going to be involve a nice lacrosse ball. We're revisiting this bad boy. I'm going to start by lying on my back, pressing that lower back into the ground, and then from here I'm going to open up my right leg like so, my hip, bringing that right knee towards the ground. I'm going to put that lacrosse ball underneath so it's right in my glute tissue, my butt cheeks, and then I'm going to do small circles back and forth. So you should feel it digging into your glutes. We don't want it to be to the point where it's causing immense pain, but it should feel pretty uncomfortable. I mean, if you're wincing a little bit, you're probably hitting on some tender spots like right there I just found, and I'm going to hang out there for about 30 seconds, taking my time, little circles, try to release and relax. Take deep breaths as you're doing this, in through the nose, out through the mouth. That way we're relaxing our shoulders, relaxing our upper body, our face even, and that'll help us relax those muscles and get a little bit deeper into the tissue. So there's no real rhyme or reason on exactly where you need to go with this. We want to make sure that we're touching whatever point are most tender for you. So for me, if I'm a little bit higher up in the higher glutes, what I can do is I can kick my foot over. I can start to put a little bit more pressure there. If it's a little bit more on some of the glutes and external rotators a little bit lower, I can have that leg down, both legs down, sit up, and start to put some pressure there. So again, just kind of searching around, finding, found a spot right there where you need to put pressure on and release. We'll spend 5 minutes on either side, so you can really take your time in releasing this muscle and trying to be as relaxed as possible while doing it. Next, we got our pigeon pose, which is going to be our active stretch. So for this, I'm going to have a band for our banded pigeon pose. If you don't have a band, that's fine too. I'm going to have it at about shin height. I'm going to step through with my left leg. I'm going to bring that band up as high as I can within my joint. From there, I'm going to take a nice big step forward, create a little bit of tension in the band. I don't want it to be directly behind me. I want it to be slightly at an angle. And from here, I'm going to have one leg straight. I'm going to be in my push-up position. And then I'm going to start to bring this ankle in towards the center of my body, rotating it in, and then I'll sit back slightly. So notice how there's some tension in the band. If I want to create more tension, I can move more forward, rotate in, sit back, and you should feel that stretch here in the glute muscle all throughout as I'm sitting farther and farther back. From there, I'm going to sit up, keep my belly a little bit tight, and then try to use my femur as that ball and socket joint at my hip to just do small circles here, kind of moving around. You can see that tiny movement. So we get a little bit of active joint mobility. What this is doing is creating some laxity in my hip joint, which allows these muscles and this tissue and this joint to not have mobility and just a static stretch where I'm not moving, but also with movement, which makes it a lot more applicable to everyday life, and which involves movement, right? So again, just kind of sitting back as far as I can, allowing that band to pull on that joint, feeling those muscles stretch, and I'll do about 3 minutes per side here. Really getting some nice active stretch there. As you continue to get deeper into that stretch, you can just push your hips back more and get deeper and deeper into that muscle. It should feel a little bit uncomfortable, but again, not painful. We're gonna finish today with a single leg glute bridge, a single leg glute bridge. We'll do 5 on either side each minute, and we'll do that 5 times. So for our first minute, I'm gonna push my lower back into the ground, squeeze my belly. I'm gonna straighten one leg, and I'm gonna press through the heel of the other leg. So I'm using my glute muscle to push my hips up towards the ceiling, belly is nice and tight, and then I'll come back down. So notice how my body looks like a plank as I come off the ground, pressing through my heel, squeezing my butt cheek, and then lowering it back down. You can keep your full foot on the ground, but the key thing here is we're really pushing through that heel. That way I'm squeezing my belly. What I want to avoid doing is arching my back like crazy like this. I want to push through my heel just enough so my belly stays tight and my hips are off the ground, and I feel it in my glute, but not so much that I'm feeling it in my lower back and arching like this. That's no go. We'll do 5 on either side. I already feel my glutes starting to fatigue. You might feel in your hamstring a little bit too. But we'll do 5 on either side each minute. We'll do that 5 times. And that's your mobility program, day B. Let us know how it goes, Revivers.